Thomas and the fire. Every morning when Thomas's driver and fireman arrive, they warm their hands against Thomas's fire after the fireman lights it.
It's a good thing we can keep your fire under control on the inside, but if it had got out of control, it would be rather dangerous.
Thomas murmured in agreement. Every day as Thomas takes his trains along his branch line, he passes a small cottage just before a tunnel. It was Mrs. Kindly's cottage, and she would always stand outside to greet Thomas, Percy, Toby, or Daisy, and they in turn would whistle or toot cheerfully. One morning when Thomas arrived at Farquhar, he found Mrs. Kindly and her husband waiting among the passengers standing on the platform.
"Hello, Mrs. Kindly. What are you doing here?"
"My husband and I are going to visit my sister on the main line. We will only be gone a week."
The guard blew his whistle and Thomas set off. Later that afternoon, Percy had been called away to help on the main line, so Thomas had to do his run to the quarry. When he arrived, he spoke cheerfully to Toby and Mavis. And before long, it was time to leave. Thomas had a good run. The trucks behaved well and he was making good time. But his good day was about to go bad. As he neared Mrs. Kindly's cottage, he saw smoke billowing in the distance.
"Oh no! The Kindly cottage is on fire!"
"We will have to go on to the next signal box and phone for help."
And so they did. The signalman was quick to telephone the fire brigade, and Thomas went back to the scene. When he returned, the fire engine was already there, but there was a problem. As the men unwound the hose, one fireman cried out,
We have no water!
"We just can't let the cottage burn!"
cried Thomas urgently.
I'm afraid if there's no water, we have no choice.
Just then, Thomas had an idea.
"You could use the water in my tanks."
The firefighters wasted no time. They put their hoses into Thomas's tanks, and it wasn't long before the fire was out. The fire wasn't major, so there wasn't very much damage, but Thomas had no water left to puff home. So Percy and Toby arrived to shunt their friend to the water tower. When he arrived, the Fat Controller was waiting.
Well done, Thomas. I'm very proud of you. Without your quick thinking, the fire could have got worse, and Mrs. Kindly's cottage might have burned to the ground. But quick thinking has saved the day, and you are a really useful engine.
"Thank you very much, sir,"
smiled Thomas the Tank Engine. Some days later, there was a surprise waiting for Thomas. As he backed into Titmuss' sheds, a crowd of people, including the firefighters, Mr. and Mrs. Kindly, and the Fat Controller, were there. The fire chief handed Thomas's driver a medal along with a certificate of thanks. Soon, newspaper crews arrived to take photographs of Thomas and his crew. The other engines cheered and whistled. Tom smiled.
It's always good to keep a good lookout.
Smiled Thomas.